If they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go!
Call him Phi Slamma Jamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Deyon Kris got his way through, and he may go! Kris is in! Houston leads out of nowhere! Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four. Go Coogs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Welcome to this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. We're going to talk about it. That Houston final score, Houston 35-9 over Rice to keep the Bayou bucket. I am KG Kris Gardner, and with me is Dayon Dunlap and Bryce Beall. How y'all doing?
I mean, we got the bucket, so it's always good, man. We every day in the locker room, all week for Rice Week is always making sure we have the bucket, so it stays on the good side of third ward.
Dayon, what do you say?
Hey, man, I got to echo the same thing. You got the victory. I mean, that's the main objective. They were not playing them for a few years, so it's only right that you got to lead with the bucket. Man. We got the bucket, man. But you got to start with that. You got the dub.
But let's keep it real, as we do here on Let's Rage Coogs, presented by Saxenian Family and Star Pizza. Most of that first half was trash. Most of that first half.
Garbage. And truth be told, I'm just going to be honest with you. I know Rice head coach was pissed about that momentum-changing touchdown. At the end of the half, you let that. Nobody's mistaking Dean for Christian McCaffrey. You let Dean get loose like that on you right before half. Or if I'm the Bryce coach, I'm yelling because I'm excited about it. But that is something you just can't. And it changed it. It changed the whole game for us because we was running in mud, as they say.
I mean, it was 5 punts. Coogs had 5 punts before that huge rushing touchdown by Dean Connor.
And it looked like they was getting ready for another one.
They were.
Right before the half. But that big run, it was a huge momentum changer. Like, no question. Like, it definitely changed momentum. Gave us more confidence, something to be proud about. Like, okay, we can bust it open. But their defense showed did what they gonna be all right.
The defense been really good for 2 years under Coach. I will say the defense was good last year, and I like. And even though the opponents are not where I like what I see out of them. They fly around, and they're aggressive, and that's something I can build on. We'll get on the other side of the ball, but right now we can hang our hat there. I think legitimately we have a defense that's going to keep us in a lot of games. They're going to need to keep us in a lot of games.
But I want to say this: I have concerns about the depth of the defense because when Rice did those 10 straight runs up the gut, that was against the twos for Houston. Most of the twos. I mean, it's a big difference between the ones and the twos for the Cougs. But hey, it's a dub. It's a win. I will say this: Andy's finished up getting post-game comments from some of the Cougar players. I heard some of Coach Fritz's comments. Surprisingly to me, he wasn't too critical of the offensive line's performance in the first half. He said, kind of paraphrasing, there was some miscommunication, and he thought that the pass blocking was solid.
I didn't think it was bad. I think in our group chat, Dayon said it best. Our receivers, we're not getting separated. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if our route combination, our route concepts are so predictable or they're so. Like I say, what we put on film, like it's so like teams are scheming us right where they know exactly what we're doing. It just seemed like we're not creating any space or any route depth in our routes that we're not explosive. Now Stephon Johnson his 74-yard touchdown catch was big. It showed me something. Okay, he could be an explosive player, but outside of that, I didn't see anything like they showed me, okay, we got guys that can really separate. Our scheme is getting these guys open because the O line wasn't that bad to start. the first half. I felt like what's his name had time. He was just patting the ball, trying to find somebody open. Nobody was open.
Dan, what do you say?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I think he did have protection, have time to throw the ball for the most part. I think Stacey Sneed a little bit explosive. Cooper early on in the game, but it was just like it didn't seem. That's what I was thinking. Like what rest is it like not getting open? It had to be something. Like he had time. So either the only thing that I can see they not have to not be open. That's the only thing it can be. So like Bryce is saying, is it the route combinations? Is it the concept? We're gonna do some quick screens to get our guys going. What if it's man-to-man coverage? Could be some quick slants, some motions to kind of see where it's man to get them on the inside. So it's just different things like that to scheme up and take care of advantage of certain matchups.
Okay, so what do y'all think was different in the second half? Were they better? Receivers got better separation? Or did they look more explosive, or was it play calling was more aggressive? What was different second half?
They they look like they woke up. I feel like in the first half, before the Dean Collins touchdown run, that the confidence was so low. Like they expected to punt the ball. I feel like they went out there. You didn't see no giddy up, no excitement on first down, anything like that. They expected to punt the ball. I think his touchdown really it it got some energy inside the office a little bit. They started to actually move with a purpose. And as coaches, we always say that you can tell, you can feel it on the sideline when guys are moving with a purpose. That means they're confident. And I felt like the first the first 25, 27, 28 minutes of the game, we was not moving with a purpose at all, and our body language was horrible. And you can see that like it's just oozing out that we just don't have any confidence that we're going to move the ball. And when your offenses start thinking that way and they expect to punt the ball, and I'm surprised they didn't seek into the defense because as a team you start to press a little bit when you realize okay we're punting the ball a lot and we're on the field a lot. But our guys, credit to our defense, they didn't waver, they didn't fold, and Dean Collins got us going, and we were able to score 35 points. You know, I said last week, I said when the last time we scored? I said we should put 40 up against Rice. It would make me feel more confident. That 35 was the ugliest 35 I've ever seen before. Like, God. Like I said the other day, I saw somebody put the other day, CeeDee Lamb had the worst 100-yard game ever. I think that was one of the worst 35-point game performances I've ever seen.
Because Dean Collins had 2 rushing touchdowns, and
Give
those 2
credit to the
touchdowns
defense, though. They got the touchdown.
were 98 yards on those 2 carries.
Good to see you.
But other than that, he had 11 carries for like 30 yards.
Yeah.
So Dayon, how do you take it? He got 2 TDs on 98 yards, then 11 carries for 33 yards.
I mean, it just shows that you do your assignment. One man in the hole, he can take it the distance. I mean, so you got to look at it like that from my perspective. But also, I think like Bryce said, that one play is a moment of play. I also believe that Pastor Stephon Johnson is also going to be a moment of play going forward to next week. Because you can see, like, okay, we finally got our big play going downfield. So I think with Dean making those explosive plays, Stephon making those explosive plays, I think as an offense, they kind of feel like, hopefully they feel like maybe we kind of find our groove, we can do this and kind of build their confidence with those 2 players in particular, can kind of build from there. I think that's just how I think from watching it. Like, because I seen the excitement from the big play, how they got hyper Stephon Johnson, got a catch, it was a big play touchdown. I think that's something to build on.
And I think you also see the importance of everybody doing their part on a play. If it means a receiver, because Coach Fritz said it before the half on Dean's touchdown run, he gave credit to Kobe Young for blocking on that play.
Coach Kingsbury was greatest about that. 7-yard runs or about the O line. 70-yard runs are because of the receivers. Your receivers outside have to be able to block because the only guys that can catch you in those long runs are the DBs and safeties. So when you see, if you pay attention to football, all the big time runs, the 70-yarders. I remember one of my longest touchdown runs against UTEP when 2010, LJ Castillo, our receiver, literally escorted me down the sideline. I was gassed or running a long touchdown. He was just knocking corners out left and right. So anytime it's a long touchdown right there, it's always the receivers are doing a wonderful job blocking on the perimeter.
And I think, on Stefan's touchdown, he caught at the 30, and then had Stefan to run the rest of the way. But that was good blocking, good timing, good communication, because there seemed to be the receivers early in the first half didn't run the right route, didn't run deep enough route, didn't run a curl, like they weren't on the same page with Connor. So little things like that are enough to make you look bad. But then when you get it working, you see the result and how it looks good and how it's designed to work. So maybe that's part of what we
I
saw
think
more
the
in the second
issue
half.
we all are saying without saying is I think we just after a year in 2 games, we're just trying to figure out what is Houston's offensive identity.
Yeah.
Like when you see great offenses like Ohio State. They got those guys outside. They're able to run the ball, but they're able to set you up to be able to play action. You get you down the field, get those guys. They already beast get them wide. What is our identity? Like I think we're still searching for it, and I think these first couple of games was it was the right opportunity. I'm not too impressed with Colorado. I really feel like it's a very winnable game for us coming up next week. So I'm curious to see like do they carry on from the second half? What he saw, like getting the ball to Stephon quick, get the ball in their hands quick, spread it out a little bit, and see if they carry that on from this week.
Also, let me get your take on this, Bryce. Do you think coaches need to build the confidence and dialing up more of those plays, or is it more of a confidence, or it's kind of a combination of both of players and coaches both having confidence
Man,
and kind of
I
being able to
said this.
call them and execute?
I said this last year. I think the greatest offenses I've been on, the offensive coaches and they had a great job of believing that we can score, and then I take that back. It has to be the signal. It has to be the quarterback. Case Keenum did the best job. He's the best leader I've ever been around. He had us believing literally that we was going to score every single time we touched the field, and we had that mindset. So we didn't care what Coach Kingsbury called or what Coach Hogan called. We knew when we stepped on the field, we were so comfortable because we had a leader who instilled that in us through the summer. So I think the last couple of years we've been so shaky at that quarterback position. Well, I wouldn't even say shaky this year. We just haven't had a true legit confident guy. And the last time we had that guy was Greg Ward, and he was a confident type of guy. If you was ever around the practices and games of Greg Ward was the same way as Case. Those are leaders that when you looked at them, you felt like you had a chance because you had that guy saying that guy touching the ball every single play. Because the quarterback is the only person on the team that's going to touch it every single play, no matter what. He's going to touch the ball every play. And when you have that guy who's touching the ball every play, and you believe it without a doubt in mind when you step on the field, he's going to make you score. So I think that's what we got to get to. We got to get to a point where okay, Connor, they got to have confidence in you. Okay, you can make it happen for us, and he's not been bad. He just hasn't been great to me. So that's what we got to get into.
Are y'all comfortable with him, McConnor, on his scrambles and his runs?
No. And sorry, I hate to come off like this every time. This is why I keep screaming. Where is the packages for the other guys? If we want to do set runs and quarterback run, I don't mind. Okay, his scramble runs. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. Give us something, but I just really, I wish we would be more creative in trying to figure out different change ups. And with him, like he does fine throwing the ball, but like when you want to run the ball, QB run stuff, that's the time to put some of your other backup quarterbacks who can actually run. The fastest guy on the team. So
What do you say, Dayon? You're muted, man.
what do you think about his runs, Kris?
Some if the design runs, I'm tolerating. I guess that's a better way to put it. I'm
Yes.
tolerating them. I don't know if I want to see more, too many of them though, because I'd rather have another quarterback do that than the best passing quarterback on the team. Because if he gets injured, then the passing game is going to look really, really bad. So I don't know if I want to do that, but I think he's surprising opponents are putting on film that option that he's a threat as a runner if you don't,
But do
scheme
you see?
for it.
You remember? Do you remember watch the Texas last year? How they would bring in the Manning kid to just change it up. And
Mm-hmm.
at the minimum, what it make a opposing team defense is it makes you game plan. Okay, when this guy come in, you got to be prepared for this. It makes you think about something else. You don't think we can put Carlisle in that situation where he's arguably the fastest guy on the team, or one of the I've seen this guy run 10-5, 100-meter dash. You don't think we could do that where we can we put pressure on you to make you think, okay, we got a game plan to scheme up when this guy come in because he got legs and stuff like. I just feel like I wish we could do a lot better and a lot more than what we're doing.
What do you say, Dayon?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, yep,
You
yep,
can hear me?
yes, sir.
Well, to the quarterback, I think I was saying I agree with the design rules when I get a better runner in there, but I'm okay with the extending the play, like naturally if the play is extending it and using athleticism. He made some good plays outside the pocket, kind of doing that. But I mean, I agree with everything. Why not get either Zion or Carlisle in there? I mean, both of them have proven big play runners. Well, Zion at the college level, Carlisle, like Bryce was talking about with his explosiveness, we're waiting to see that translate to college. But at least give them an opportunity to do it. I agree with that for sure. But I'm just thinking like they can build the confidence from today and take that and kind of have that belief doing that going forward in this next game because I'm really not too impressed with Colorado. I think they got better athletes from the two teams that we've seen, but I think it's going to be a game that we definitely can win.
All right, I'm going to go full screen with some comments from Dean Connors here. So it's going to pop up, and I think
RB1.
the three of us will be off screen. But so here we go. We're trying to do stuff on a new platform. Here you go. Dean Connors and 2 touchdowns and beating his former team. Let's see.
Really, so the right student. The the play there at the end of the first half, the left side of the line, great blocking, and then Kobe picked up a really good block. What did you see on that play to kind of find that hole?
Yeah, it was old school power. The tray just matched the DN backside to the backer, and guard came around and pulled, and it was just wide open for me. It's not very hard. I just had to run.
What was that conversation in the locker room? Because Coach Kris came out and said you guys didn't panic at halftime, despite the struggles on offense. So just what was that conversation between the coach staff with the offense?
Yeah, Coach Kris is a great leader. We walked in there.
Wi-Fi. Well, here at Rice Stadium, old stadium. Wi-Fi said no. We'll get back to that as soon as we can. But Dean, he's kind of humble on his run. Gave credit to his blocking, and that's good to hear. I'm sure Bryce did that back, and gave credit to his blocking for his big runs. And Andy's.
If I didn't, they were gonna let me hear about it. My whole life, I promise you. Back then, if they saw an interview I did and I didn't acknowledge the big guys up front, I learned real quick that you always because you don't get anywhere without those guys. I think the O line is the most important unit on the entire team.
What do y'all think about the crowd for Friday's game against Colorado? Crowd expectations. 35,000. Could we get a sellout TDCU?
I think
40,000.
I think if anybody can do it, it'll be Prime. He'll bring people out of the city. Um, I mean, people are curious. I mean, a lot of people. It's kind of like the Cowboys. A lot of people want to see him fail as well. So if they can be there to support the Cougs to do it, I think if we're gonna have a chance to do it, it'll be this Friday.
And about the stats, the overall stats You take away Dean's 98 yards on their 2 touchdowns, the team had 36 carries for 106 yards
against the Rice
Owls. So obviously you can't take away the 2 carries, the long touchdown runs, but 36 rushes for 106 yards, whatever it was. That's not great. Or is it? The overall average was 5.4, but Dean was 10.2, and 2 of his runs were almost 100 yards. But part of the identity question as well, Bryce is getting to. So what is the identity of this team?
Are we a gap scheme? Are we running power, counter? Is that what we're doing? Or we're a zone? See, I watch it. We seem like we're doing a little bit of everything. And I think we need to get good at something. I keep saying
Yeah, we
it.
multiple offense. Like on NCAA 26, we run a
Yeah.
multiple offense.
Like we just running
We multiple.
a bunch of stuff. Like 1 minute we spread, 1 minute we tight end. We're like we just running a lot. Let's get really good at something. If I'm coach first, I'm going to the offense coordinator and say like, hey, let's find 7 to 9 plays and let's just window dress it. Let's do the same exact plays that we're really, really good at, but let's do it out of different formation. Let's do it out of trips. Let's do it out of dope. Let's do it out of quads. Let's do it. The same exact 7 plays. Let's get really, really good at them. And once we do that, I think we simplify it, but we get really, really good at something. I think we'd be better. Right now, I don't think we're good at anything.
All right, we got some comments, some post game from Coach Fritz. Let's see if the Wi-Fi works, because I'm up here in the press box, and this press box is older than me. So you know how old that is. So we're going to try again for some post game comments. This time it's going to be from Coach Fritz, and we'll come back with you. If I have to cut it short, we'll keep on talking about the Cougs 35-9 win over Rice. Here we go. One more time. Let's try this. Coach Fritz.
I just got done telling the guys, nobody panicked at halftime. We didn't come out playing the way we wanted to, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Big play at the end of the first half by the offensive line. We had a real nice block by Kobe Young when Dean. We played pretty darn good defense. Really did a good job. I thought they played very good defense. Coach K did a fabulous job with the defense, and then they started. They found a few plays that kind of hurt us in the second half. With some pin and pull and getting some big linemen out there. We didn't fit it real good. They had that big long drive. But good job by the kids. It's we never take it for granted. I'm glad no one panicked at halftime, and we came out and dominated in the second half.
Willie, offensively, 4 of your last 5 possessions were touchdowns. What do you attribute that? Was it just getting things going, needing a boost?
We had really good protection early in the game. I mean, we just, for whatever reason, I got to go back and look at it. Or did we not go through progression correctly? Did our receivers not run the route properly, or did they? I know there was one play where we ran a dig and we bowed it instead of coming downhill a little bit. I think we would have had about 2 or 3 yards more of a cushion to complete it. So we just got to go back and look at it. But I thought for the most part in the first half we had pretty good protection hits, pretty good time back there, and then I thought Connor showed off his wheels a little bit too in the second half. Did a good job running the ball, got some key first downs, had a big touchdown. Did a nice job.
Coach, you talk about not panicking after that first half. What do you attribute that slow start to, and how much do you emphasize on it as you start looking ahead?
I don't know. We got a lot of new guys playing together. They're running a little bit different front than we thought possibly, and there was some movement, and you just got to all be on the same page. And when everybody is, you have that big rip that Connor had there at the end of the first half. So they were just running inside zone. They run the linebacker through a few times, and you just got to come off the combo, and that's a big play. But we didn't come off the combo, and it's a loss of 1. So we got to get better at that.
Coach, that connection between Connor and Boogie Johnson, big play. How big is it for Boogie Johnson to be able to finally make a big play already?
I think it's good. The thing I was most proud of is that he had a couple opportunities. It didn't work for him. in the first half, with completions, and and he was stayed in the ball game and was was there when his number got called, and heck of a throw and a great catch, and he showed his speed running away, did a good job. We always talk about sideline ball, use your off arm as a weapon. He kind of pushed off that guy, and instead of having to be a 60-yard what was it anyway?
74 yards.
Instead of being a 55-yard completion, a 74-yard touchdown, because he used his off arm and did a good job of getting in the end zone. So it was good to see that. We really feel like we got some weapons, in the receiver room and the running backs too. And if we can protect like we did today, I think we can do some good stuff.
What do you think about what Coach Fritz said right there? Some of his post-game comments after the Cougs 35-9 win over Rice.
Yeah, you can go.
I think this is comments kind of about the defense. I think they were dominant to kind of start the game, hold it down. It kind of said a lot of things that we said. Offensive line gave Connor some time in that first half. He had time to go back and see if it was the receivers not getting open, route concepts, and different things like that. So it's kind of let me know that my eyes wasn't deceiving me. He kind of saying the same thing. They really got to put it all together more. That's why I think those two plays can build confidence builders. I think not only for Connor, well, like Bryce said, I think it starts with him. If he can build their confidence and spread that out to the offense, he said he feel like they got some playmakers who can make some plays. But once they kind of continue to gel, build that chemistry, like he says, a lot of new players. One thing that also stood out, he said we got a lot of new players who's the first time playing together. I think they kind of build that chemistry and confidence. They can have a better outing and kind of find an identity.
Yeah, I agree. Coach Fritz, you can tell there was press conferences. I think he's kind of like even early in the year already like kind of like tired of talking about the offense and kind of getting frustrated a little bit, saying, "Well, we got time. Maybe the receiver didn't on the dig route." It's detailed. I can tell he's very like impatient that the little details that makes the offense go, we're not completing right now. So it's just like that dig route he was talking about. Guy, instead of bending it, making it flat, he got himself covered by the safety instead of like coming down like he was saying. So when he was saying stuff like that, it let me know, okay, it's detail that he's worried more about more than scheme. So maybe that's what we're not seeing on the coach's film that he gets to see. So I mean, he's been quite successful. That's all we can do is trust it. But I think I hope we just go in and we figure that out because we're gonna need to figure it out going into Big 12 play.
Andy, you ready to join us with your assessment of the 35-9 win? Maybe not.
Also to the defense, man. Hey, Cedric Allen, we haven't said his name yet, but say
Yes.
he looking like he gonna play on Sundays. The way he's
Yes.
flying around, the way he controlling that line of scrimmage. The one play they tried to do a stretch, and he literally puts 2 or 3 linemen down the line of scrimmage in the backfield. And Cedric Allen, hey, I see you
But
up front
Traylor's
working,
playing
big
really
fella.
well too.
Yeah, he is too, for sure.
And Coach Fritz did, let me say this, Coach Fritz did mention after the game that Latrell got a stinger on that play. We saw him leave the game, so he's good. So no broken bones, anything like that. So he's good to go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Yeah, Kris, exactly what you said about Latrell McCutcheon. He spoke to us after the game, too. He was really hyped. He had arguably the quote of the night. He said, "This is called the city of Houston, not the city of Rice." And Bryce, like you said, man, that Bayou bucket, it means a lot to the players. They were celebrating. You know, damn near they just won a ball game the way they were celebrating, holding up the trophy. Players coming, trying to get a photo with the trophy, going out to the fans, celebrating, letting some of the fans touch it. It meant a lot to them, and this was a big win for Houston and some promise. They showed some promise, which is all that we could ask for. We wanted to. Defense had a good performance. Dean Connors, I know we're really talking about the offensive line and the running backs group. Dean Connors had two hell of runs in this game. 54-yard scamper and then the 42-yard later in the game in what was a homecoming for him. He said the student section was cheering for him, and not in the way you might expect. They had some banter for him when he returned. But all in all, good performance in that second half. That's what we expected. The first half, not so much. But really, I think something clicked. Dean Connors really attributed it to, he said, their communication got better. It seemed like they were much more in rhythm and on the same page in that second half. So hopefully that's something they can continue to carry on Friday when they have to take on Colorado, which will easily be the toughest competition that they faced so far this season. But I think the defense is ready for that challenge, especially Latrell McCutcheon, because he mentioned it. These past two games, they've really faced two teams that aren't really putting the ball in the air. And as a DB, he's kind of getting antsy about, not really getting to cover receivers. That's not going to be the case next Friday when they play Colorado. So I think the defense is antsy and ready to play a high-caliber opponent. We'll see if the offense can bottle up what they showed in the second half and keep going. Final 5 drives, Houston scored 4 touchdowns on their final 5 drives. And they got a field goal attempt. It was a long field goal that ultimately missed. On that one, they did not score a touchdown. So, again, much better final 5 than the first handful of possessions for this Houston offense.
Yeah, Andy. The bucket, Doc, the great trainer Doc O'Shea. When you cover as a freshman, he instills it in you. We must keep the bucket. This is when we was in the same conference at the time, and we played, and it was like they were really good, and we lost the bucket my freshman year, and it hurt. And from that day, I realized how important that bucket was. It was probably the most important game outside of the conference championship to us. It was that bucket.
And the Cougs will keep it at least till as the earliest 2030. So it's going to be where it belongs until 2030 at the earliest. So I'm very good with that.
Yeah.
Another fun fact coming out of today's game: this is the first time the Houston football team has started 2-0 since the 2018 season. It's been a long time since they've been 2-0.
2-0. Think about that. Just 2-0. 2-0.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That 2018 season, they started 5-0, 4-0.
That's the year they beat.
They beat Arizona week 1.
Yeah.
I don't remember how. I think they got at least 4-0, and then they lost to who'd they lose to? It might have been the Texas Tech. But I don't remember.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sounds like how it's gonna happen this year. Right now, how it's looking.
Well, we'll see how they look against Colorado. I think that'll be the big test. Oregon State hasn't really impressed from what I've seen in
neither has Colorado. So, yeah.
So we shall see.
4-0 is on the table.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think we're gonna play really well defensively. 4-0 is on the table.
Definitely. No question.
And you want to talk about confidence and what it would do for the school. That would be huge. And I think
That would be monumental.
I'm hoping that guys in the locker room understand that too.
Because it'd be a sign of the hard work paying off. And people, the fans, the folks who've been waiting for, well, they beat Rice, but now they're 4-0. Well, maybe I need to start paying attention to what they're doing now. And now they're getting things done in Big 12. And, Houston is filled with fans who weren't born in Houston. So the fair weather fans, they want to hop on and support a winner.
Man, we 4-0 with Texas Tech coming to town. We'll pack it out for sure.
Yes, sir.
No question.
And I feel confident saying it'd be more Cougar red than that Raider black and red, whatever, in the stadium. So, hey,
I don't know. I know a lot of Tech fans move to Houston. Who wants to live in Lubbock?
They'll travel too. They'll travel.
Oh no, they'll travel. But the goal is to have still more Cougar red in the stadium. Well, y'all know how I feel about it. I want us to come see us, not the opponent. That's why I want us to get to that point. For all of us as UH alums to come see the Cougs play, not the opponent.
And
get to that level.
And like you said, starting out 4-0 would help that. I think that's why Coach Herman had so much success. Is that his first couple of years he had early success getting off to great starts, And when he got to those great start, it built momentum with it, and it gave us better home field advantage. I really believe if he can come out to a 4-0 start, that I don't think you guys understand when you get a chance to play in front of a packed stadium, it gives you the energy to get over bad nights offensively. I never forget my sophomore year. We played Texas Tech the third game of the season. We was ranked. It packed out the Rob. We wasn't great offensively that night either, but the crowd carried us across the finish line. And sometimes when you have those on, it makes it tough for their offense to communicate, and it'll help our defense out even more. So if we can get off to a really good start, that'll be huge for us.
And let's just be real about this too. 4-0 start will help us on Let's Race Cougars, our audience, because we got a pretty good number tonight after a win over Rice. So, hey, we're all for it. The more wins, the better for us and the better for our people supporting the show. And we could always, as Andy knows, you want to advertise on this show, email, and we'll get that going and enjoy this ride, because it's a chance this team could go to a bowl game this year, man. It's second year for Coach Fritz. That'd be an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Have you guys talked about Boogie Johnson, the big catch he had?
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, add your thoughts on it.
I mean, well, that Houston needs to see more of that. Yeah, and Willie Fritz talked about it after the game, where he felt that Boogie Johnson did a good job of just being physical when the ball was in the air, kind of bouncing off the defender once he caught it, and instead of it being a 50-yard catch, which, I mean, still would have been a hell of a catch, ended up being a 74-yard bomb for the touchdown. I don't know what it was about that drive right before halftime, but it seemed like Houston found some rhythm, some momentum right before halftime. They were playing that quick 2-minute offense, and it really, I think, ultimately, and Bryce, I'm curious to get your thoughts. Ultimately, it seemed like they finally got better running lanes when they started spreading out, because they were doing it in the 2-minute offense, and they were force feeding Tanner to start that drive, and then lo and behold, Dean Connors got a lane, and then the second half, they just felt much more comfortable. And then you saw Connor starting to air it out, and that play in particular, let your playmaker make a play, and that's exactly what Boogie Johnson did. And that's what Houston needs from its offense. That looks like a really good football team. The first quarter and 14 minutes of the second quarter, that looks like, last year's offense. It was one of the worst that all of us had ever seen in the history of football.
It was the worst.
Yes. Yes.
It was the worst.
And numbers back it up, too.
The numbers back it up. But, the crazy thing, Andy, like you said, I think Dean scored because they spread. If you look at the formation, they gave themselves room, and when you do that, when you spread the offense out, you control the box, the guys in the box. And I heard Dean talking about how his tackle was able to get up to the second level, and that's how you get to the second level is you get a clear box. You don't have to worry about safeties coming down because it's congested in there. You get a clear box, and they were able to identify the backers and get to them and get to the second level. And your big runs come when your lineman can get combo blocks. And Coach Chris talked about a little bit about how they got us a couple of times for the minors because we didn't get up to the second level in our combo blocks when we were running zone. He's talking in the interview. That's another thing I said. Like, okay, we're a zone team, we're a gap scheme. We run a bunch of different type of run schemes, but the end of the half, like you said, they spread it out a little bit, which opened up the running lanes, which helps a running back out because when it's not muddy in there and you can figure out different ways to press it and set up your blocks, it makes it much easier for you than when it's congested like that.
By the way, Dayon, they finally ran a QB sneak in the first half too, and lo and behold, they were able to pick up some yardage and got a first down. I guess they can run stuff out of that is not a shotgun formation too.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. And it was a little bit to the left too, but it was the right play call, a QB sneak, and it was a little off center, and it worked.
I would never understand if it's 1 yard or less. why are you in shotgun? Why would you
Me
snap
either.
it
Yep.
4 yards to
Backwards.
try to get 1 yard? Even if you don't want to run a quarterback sneak, the threat of being under the center changes the whole thing for your defense. Now you can do a lot of different things. You want to quick pitch it out there and get outside. I understand that, but being directly 4 or 5 yards back, catching a snap, I would never for the life of me understand that.
Me either. Me either. What about how those big runs can potentially, if it, I know you're not gonna get the big runs, but when it's ineffective, it does that a defense can respect the play action. What's about the importance of not only getting some big runs, but some effective runs? Now you got some play action and get some one-on-one on the outside, and at least give your receivers a chance to make a play, or at least a chance to win outside.
Oh, it's huge for us. Maybe because when a team come in I'm thinking as a coach, if I'm defending U of H offense, what's the first thing I want to take away? When I'm watching the film, I guarantee they're saying nothing. Like we don't have to take away anything. They're not great at anything. So if you're able to put that on film, okay, we can actually run the ball now. Now, okay, well maybe we're gonna invite the safeties up a little bit. That's how they game plan. But right now, if I'm game planning against U of H, you got to show me because right now they're not great at anything. They're getting better. That second half was I'm telling you was needed for everybody in 7-1-3 because if it was anything like the first half, it would have carried on to the second half. My God.
Yeah, this would
I
be
just
a very different mood, very different post-game show. Heading into Colorado,
exactly
it'd be.
absolutely.
Do y'all believe that keeping Tanner Koziel involved, having him, Dean Connors, Boogie Johnson, Stacy Snead, the combination of those four, it's up to the offensive coordinator, the OC, to figure out how to maximize the four of them
Because what you just said
in the
is
same game.
Tanner's he's a I, dare I say he's kind of elite tight end.
Yeah.
Like he's really really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like really really. So you have a weapon in him, and Johnson showed his
And you can
flash.
find a
Like
mismatch easy with him.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you got the pieces. What you got to do is, and we tell our guys on Friday nights, our top 45 guys have to grade out 90 every week for us to be great. So those guys have to grade out 90 every week. How do you do that? Find ways to get those guys the ball every single week.
Right.
If you do that, and you can live with that. If they don't play well, we gave ourselves a chance because we didn't waste possession, we didn't waste plays. We gave our top four guys the ball. Those names you just named, Chris, that's what we have to do. We have to figure out how we're going to get him that matchup problem. I take it back. I was wrong when I said I don't have to. That's the one guy I will have the game plan to stop if I'm going against U of H. So if I
Yeah.
know that they're going to key in on him, how do I get other guys involved? Maybe I run him out on some action, and then I can still run draw like running back draw stuff because I know he's going to demand a lot of attention from the backers and the safeties. Like get creative like that. So you're absolutely right when you hit that on the mark, Chris.
How about let's I'm being positive. It's kind of rare for me sometimes, but what if the staff is just been kind of keeping things close to the vest these first two games, and then I'll open it up against Colorado and going forward? Maybe that's what they're doing. How about that? No.
No, it's hard to see it, especially a lot of the issues in the first half. I mean, they were still trying to figure stuff out, specifically on the offensive line. They moved, they made a lot of substitutions, and just in the first half itself, I don't think if they're still trying to figure that out, I don't think they're at a point where they're holding stuff back because they're still trying to figure out what personnel is going to be the ones that they rock with for conference play.
What?
I know, because in 14 games you've been bad in your tenure here, so it ain't no holding back. It's when are we gonna have a day, a night, and truthfully, tonight might have been the best offensive night they had in 14 games. Matter of fact, it is. Tonight's probably the
the
best
last
night,
drive
and
in the
that's
first
saying
half.
that, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah. And then the second half, yeah. The last 5 possessions, Andy, you said 4
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
touchdowns? Yeah.
4 touchdowns.
They got in position to score in all 5 of them. They just didn't make the field goal on one of them.
It could be a confidence builder. I think going forward now they can see some things which you can say we're going to get explosive runs, then maybe you can say everybody can fit the right gaps, do your job. We can make big runs, but maybe they just found some things that they're confident. Okay, well, Colin, we get this look now. We trust Colin a go ball to Steph or to Boogie Johnson or different things like that. They're trying to see different things because this is a new old coordinator too from last
Right.
year, so
Mm-hmm.
he's still trying to figure it out in game 3. So I think it's a few things that they can take away and kind of build on it. But I think that tight end is definitely shit. A game plan. You got a game plan around him. Defense got to prepare for him, and we got some pieces for sure. And the quarterback can get it there. Accurate thrower, can throw all 3 levels. And so I think there's some confidence there. I want to see this what we could do because we could beat 4-0. It's 4-0 is right there. 3-0 is right there.
And watch, I just jinxed this by saying that we're definitely going 2-2. And just because I said it.
I would be very disappointed if they end up 2-2.
Oh,
I'd
absolutely.
accept 3-1, but 2-2, I would be really disappointed.
Because you get a home game versus the better team in Colorado, and then you go on the road versus a team like Oregon State, who's not good to me at all.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah, that's not Oregon. That's Oregon State. Yeah. So, yeah.
and what Oregon did to Oklahoma State today.
Oh
My
my goodness.
whew.
69-3.
So that's another game I'm looking at the schedule like down the road. Oklahoma State's very winnable for us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
these are games like teams. I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, yeah. Let's. Where is it? We have the rest of the schedule up for the Cougs. We could let's pick up 4 more wins. Let's look at them and say 4 more wins for the Cougs, and that's
If
bowl
we start
eligible.
out 4-0, I did that today, Chris. I was looking at it. It was games like Arizona. I think we can win. I like
Mm-hmm.
West
it
Virginia
was
for sure.
West Virginia at home. I think we can win. And then the SC, the Baylor and TCU is a split because by the time we play those teams, TCU. I like the way TCU look. They look pretty good in person. Now, granted, North Carolina is not really good, but they
Baylor
dumb.
looked
They
good
did what they
against SMU
supposed. They did
today.
what we were supposed to do to SFA and Rice. They dominated that
Yeah.
game. So,
Yep.
I did that today, and I said, man, you know what? It's possible we could win 8 games this year. It's
Wow.
gonna
Okay.
take. It's gonna
Yeah.
take a lot, but it's very winnable. Like UCF to me is a winnable game.
Yeah, especially how they've looked up the gate.
Yeah. So it's like but teams probably saying the same thing, looking at us too, watching that game. Like, oh, we scored 21 points. We're gonna beat this team. So
Yeah, it comes down to the offense.
It kind of goes to
Can they
why
can they bottle it?
in the Big 12, like you never know who can break out and kind of have that big year surprise. It was TCU a couple years ago, Arizona State last year, and so I mean, why
I
not
think it
us?
to be honest, early I'm thinking it's Utah this year.
Utah. I'm gonna say yeah. This year looks like
Yeah.
Utah. Yeah.
It looks like Utah. They look really good right now.
But then after Utah, maybe Iowa State.
Did
They
they
play
beat
good
Iowa?
defense. They
Yeah, they
like us.
did.
They
Yeah.
play really good defense.
Yeah. And I think Arizona State lost apparently at Mississippi State.
Yeah, they did.
Mm.
I'm like, why not us? I mean, we can put it together.
Especially with the conference schedule that they have.
Yeah. We
We'll
don't play
see.
Utah this year, do we?
No.
Nope. And they
Yeah.
don't play Iowa State either.
Or Iowa State. That's huge. But we don't think we got Kansas State either.
Nope.
Nope.
So yeah, well BYU is
Texas Tech is going to be
or
the biggest.
BYU.
Texas Tech is the next thing to Utah. Texas
Yep.
Tech, they have a really good team this year. They was able to maintain a lot of their players,
And they added.
and they explosive. Texas Tech was a team.
So top tier Big 12 offenses look different than ours. Another level.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I agree. We agree with that for sure.
Yeah, they're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
Not even close.
That's why I think it'd be good to see how our defense play against Colorado because they at least gonna have a threat passing game. See how our DB is really cover and really see with that.
I mean, they're a step up in competition compared to these first two teams. Well, we agree on that. Colorado's better than Rice and way better than Stephen F. Austin. So it's going to be a good test. 6:30 kickoff on a Friday. downtown traffic, all those things. It's going to be. It might be kind of empty at the start of the
The
game.
beginning.
Think
By
about it
eight
now.
o'clock.
That comment makes perfect sense. Yeah, on a Friday, traffic. Good luck.
Yeah, I almost wish ESPN would have 8:30 start for us on a Friday night in H-Town rather than 6:30
Yeah.
because we're not going to show up.
But
We're not going to get to like 8 o'clock because of traffic and stuff. So
I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal.
yeah,
Trying
'cause
to
it's
get
going
in
to be
there.
a bad look on TV. I know I can see it now. People chiming in on social media. Look at the stadium. It's kickoff and there's nobody here. See, they shouldn't
The
be in the
Big
Big
12
12.
added this
Yeah,
team.
look at
That's why
that.
you got to add that unlimited student fans in. That thing should be packed.
Absolutely, I
Agree
would.
with that.
Because
Unlimited
you're not
student
making
fans.
money anyway when it's empty. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, let
I would announce
unlimited
that this
student
week.
fans.
Every student is free, no matter what. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who was it? Arizona State, the Big 12. They launched this week an award for the best student section at home games, and Arizona State won it for week one. They had 14,000 students at their game. We get. I'm not, we can't. We don't
That's half
allow.
of the population at TDCU Stadium.
We don't allow 14,000 students to come to a game. Because what is the cap? Like maybe 4,000? What is it? Maybe I don't know what it is, but I know it's not as much as
That's nowhere close
14,000.
to
I
that.
know that.
No,
Like I
we
said,
need to do that.
That needs to change. But yeah, let the students come to the game, man. Fill it up.
There shouldn't be no student saying, "Oh, I couldn't get a ticket."
So and we know UH administrators are watching the show. They do watch Let's Rage Coogs. Think about that suggestion. Just think about it.
Oh, trust me. I get texts all the time from people up there. They definitely watch the show or they see the clips.
Yeah. That'll do it. Y'all got something else I want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
This final moments here. This 35-9 win. Cougs over Rice. Cougs keep the bucket. Cougs improve to 2-0 for the first. What do you say, Andy? 2-0.
first time since 2018. That's the last year of Major Applewhite.
Wow.
So it's been a really long time.
Wow. You had to go there. Wow.
Well, I mean, that is true. They had a chance in 2023 when they beat UTSA, and then lo and behold, they played this very same Rice team week 2 and lost. So, but hopefully this is a start, and the second half is something that they're able to carry for the offense and build momentum. And we shall see how they look in their Big 12 conference opener on Friday against Colorado. With Prime coming in, it's going to be just a crazy atmosphere, hopefully. Even if it's a little empty to begin, hopefully it fills out by the time 7:30 hits. And we shall see. And we'll be right back here on Friday night to talk everything that happens between Houston and Colorado. Big thank you to the Saxenian family, Steve Saxenian, for being the primary sponsor of this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Also, a big shout out to Mike and Jennifer Pittman for being a secondary sponsor on this edition. With Star Pizza, they have multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Check them out online at starpizza.net to see what their menu offerings are, and also check out their various locations to see which one is closest near you.
Bryce, you want to say anything before we shut it down? Dan gonna have final word.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we were able to come in and we were able to talk about the game. I know sometimes we be a little hard on it, but at the end of the day, man, we got the dub. We're 2-0. I'm proud of the Cougar boys, man. I just want to see us be great again. If I could take Trump saying so, let's be great again and let's celebrate the bucket. It's a big accomplishment. I'm proud of those seniors in the locker room. I don't think you guys understand how big the bucket is to the players. And so to be able to, your senior class, to be able to say you keeping the bucket for the next 5 years is great for us. So congratulations, man. And as Cougar on, we're proud of you guys and keep it up, man. Hey, let's keep it going.
That's right.
Let's put the pedal on. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going, man. We got a good opportunity for us to win these next couple games. Win 1-0. Take this next one, move on to the next one, and let's just keep building from here. I think that's the importance: is building confidence, building chemistry, and to get this fan base behind them, win them over, and come out and support. And I think we can get back to the winning ways, them glory days, like we like we've all been a part of at some point of our UH tenure. So I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. I'm looking forward to the game next week. As always, go Coogs.